Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. Today I have the Armored DIY Spinner for review, and it is made by none other than the unpronounceable company name FEGVE. Okay, for the sake of the video and from here on, I'm going to call it FEGVE because it's easier for me to pronounce it that way, FEGVE. No one has corrected me yet, no one has told me how I'm supposed to actually pronounce the company name, so from henceforth I shall call you FEGVE. There, it is made by FEGVE, it is called the Armored DIY Spinner, and the fact that it is called a DIY spinner and you see screws like these over here, you know that is a modular design. Now this spinner was loaned to me by Roy of Spin Scene, so big ups to Roy. It is one out of the 3 spinners for this batch that I will be doing a review on, and I've spent the last 1.5 weeks with these 3 on my EDC. I've been alternating them and cycling through them, so I've spent a good at least 4 full days with each of them. Yeah, so to be fair, right? Yeah, to be fair. Now, I know there was no initial unboxings and all that simply because I didn't receive them in a box. But the initial impression was, is this going to hurt? And well, to my surprise, it's not that bad, honestly. Now I'll just show you guys the aesthetics first and we'll talk about it in its tri form before I actually show you guys the other configurations, okay? So here we go. Looking closer at it, you actually see very nice angled cuts and there are no sharp edges because even though it is a little bit pointed here, it is actually very nicely rounded. See? Even the edges here are nicely finished. It seems like this has a nice patina to it. I didn't make this patina, it was already in this form when I got it, and I think that this has actually been through some kind of a tumbling process. That's why all these edges are actually really smooth. They're really nicely finished on the arms, and that's really surprising. The texture is nice, it feels very soft, satin-like. Very interesting. Now the core itself is made of stainless steel and the arms of course are made in brass. It is a 688 bearing spinner with a screw cap bearing retention system, so you know it's very easy if you want to just remove the bearings if you want to change it out or clean it. Now let's look at the buttons, shall we? First of all, the buttons actually feature a very nice dish, or concave I should say, and it's got very nice cutout circles, and these actually are deep enough to provide a very nice grip. One side of the button has the logo etched in and the other side features a dimple, and you know what that means guys, you can balance this on a pointed object. Now flipping it around, we actually see the engraving, and this one says 688 hex number 4. And so this has led me to believe that the number is not the serial number of this particular spinner, it is the number of the design of the spinner, meaning like this is maybe FEGVE's number 4 design for the 688 series, something like that. Because we've seen the core spinner and the core was I think number 9, and number 9 was like the same throughout. Every other core spinner had the same number, so I believe that every other Armored DIY spinner is going to have the same number as well. I'm not sure if this number is going to be pertaining to only the core in the middle or to the spinner in its entirety. I'm not so sure. Anyway, I'm going to put these buttons back on and I'm going to talk to you guys about the fidgetability. Now in its tri form, with a 2-handed table spin, I'm easily getting 4 to 5 minutes spin times, and that really is pretty surprising. I wasn't expecting it to get even 4 minutes, so that really surpassed my expectation and I was pleasantly surprised. Now let's talk about the fidgetability. If you look at the spinner design, you know that it is an asymmetrical design right off the bat, and that also means that which way you actually hold it will give you a different spinning experience. Now, my favorite way to fidget with the spinner is to have the shorter edge out where I can rest my finger on. And you know, I like to hold it with my index finger and thumb grip and perform preloaded flicks. And I'll tell you why. Because when I hold it this way, it may be comfortable here and there, but when I want to go for preloaded flicks and I want to do that in succession, I sometimes get my finger right in the middle here. And then I will snag myself because the edge right here is a little bit uncomfortable. You can see that it is protruding out like that, and if you get your finger right there and you pull hard, you'll snag yourself and it'll cause you a little bit of discomfort. Okay, a little bit is just being very nice. It will cause you a lot of discomfort. If you push forward in this way, it's fine. If you use your middle finger and thumb grip in this orientation, it's completely fine. 4th finger as well. Sometimes you do accidentally hit this part, so you have to bear that in mind. But with your index finger, forward and backwards, no problem whatsoever. And these are actually a little bit unique. If you look at it carefully, it is almost like a 90-degree, I guess, shape. So this actually makes for a very sharp dip where you can actually rest your finger in and get your finger right there to regenerate your spin again, which is quite interesting. Now I'm going to change the orientation to this way, which is my preferred way, and the reason why I like it this way is because when I'm going for continuous preloaded flicks, I don't have the same issue right at this edge over here. Now this is just so close and so, I guess, so sharp that even my finger doesn't get snagged. Just rest it there and then just pull it back with no problems. And that also means that pushing forward is no problem because I don't really have a lot of meat in this area of my middle finger to get my middle finger stuck right there. So that's actually a really good thing. Right, now switching it up to the middle finger and thumb grip, pushing forward, pulling back, no issue at all. Pushing forward with your index finger, pulling back with your index finger, no problem at all. Now, like I said earlier on, I spent 4 days with this, and most of the time I actually used it in the try configuration. I'm going to be honest with you. Thing is, it's really stable, and I really like this sensation when you're actually spinning it in its try form, and it's very well balanced. Look, see how it didn't even drop even though it was like tipping on the edge like that. Really crazy, right? Even if I just flip it around like that, so easy to balance, guys. I'm gonna do it in my left hand as well. Very well balanced, super stable. Look at that, guys. Easy for you to swap around and easy for you to even change hands. Look, it's that well balanced, everyone. No kidding. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna change this guy up into the next configuration, which is the bar style. So all you gotta do is just remove the buttons like this. Really simple. And if you want another step, you could actually remove the bearings, but you don't have to. Then all you gotta do is just grab yourself a precision flathead screwdriver and remove the screws up here. And before I do that, I want to let you guys know that each arm is actually held in by a pair of flathead screws. So it's really simple. Actually, just get your precision screwdriver and just undo the screws. And I'm trying to get this screw out just like that. There we go. That's one screw out. And the next one, there we go, 2 screws out, and all you gotta do is just slide out the arm. It's that simple. And now I'm gonna remove another 2 screws and shift this one arm up here in order to turn it into a bar configuration. Let's go. And we are done. This is gonna put the buttons back on and give it a spin for you guys to have a look. Ta-da! This is what the bar version of the Armored DIY Spinner looks like, and here we go. Spin. It behaves just like, you know, a typical bar spinner would, affected by the gyroscopic effect because it's 2 arms, not 3. But fidgetability wise, for a bar spinner, it's not bad. I think it really needed that asymmetrical design, so it looks more like a geometrical S-shaped spinner, and fidgetability is not bad actually. The same thing applies though that I mentioned when it was in the 3-arm configuration. When I have it this way and I give it a preloaded flick, sometimes I end up on this edge, and now it's even more obvious because, you know, the arms are more spaced out. Just wanted to share that with you guys. And then fidgeting with your index finger might be a little bit, how should I say this, not as satisfying because of this part over here. It's kind of curved, so sometimes when you get your index finger up here, you might just completely miss a flick altogether. Or maybe it would just flick but not as strong as you want it to be. Yeah, it won't be a satisfying flick. But if you hold it this way, it's much better. See that? Okay, not if you do that. No, don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Okay, just pull your finger back fast enough. Here we go. Exactly like that. So now you've seen the Armored DIY in its bar configuration. I'm going to show you one more configuration, which is the single armed fidgeting configuration. And that is done by simply removing another 2 screws and just keeping one arm on. Let's go. Single arm configuration, everyone. There we go. Just a standard little swingy fidgeter. Look. I don't know if this will float your boat. It doesn't float mine. I mean, I'm not one to actually like fidgeting with, I guess, this kind of style. But if it really is your style, then yeah, by all means, this is something that you can do with the Armored DIY Spinner. It's one of the configurations. It was made for you to decide whether or not you want to do this. So it's actually pretty cool that you actually get this option. Now I'm just going to do this in case any of you are wondering. Yes, you can have the arms in the opposite orientation, I suppose. Instead of like, you know, having it this way. For the bar style, you could have it like this, or like this, or like this. And it would have been cool if it could have been like a really super chunky bar style spinner, but then again, you need at least 8 of these slots in order to do that, right? Because now you see only 2 are free. So yeah, interesting, but then again, just something that, you know, probably wouldn't work unless you guys want a fidgeter which is super heavy weighted on one side. I'm just going to put it back into its try form and then continue with the review. Done. It is back in its try configuration. Now, on to my final verdict on the FEGVE Armored DIY Spinner. First of all, let's talk about the price point. It is going for $70 on the Spin Scene Big Cartel web store. Make sure you check it out if you guys are interested, and I'll put links in the video description below. Do I think $70 is worth it? Pretty much. It's solid brass and solid stainless steel. With that modularity, it's pretty darn amazing. And the main gripe I have about this spinner is this hard edge over here that I shared with you guys earlier on, where I don't like the fact that I will snag myself when I'm performing consecutive preloaded flicks and I'm not paying attention. Exactly, it just happened again. When I land like this, or rather when my finger lands like this and I pull it back, that is when I will hurt myself, and I don't like that. Apart from that, everything's actually pretty good for this spinner. The next thing is that you're not able to choose any other material. It is only going to be available in brass and stainless steel. I do not know if FEGVE will ever come up with full stainless steel arms for this thing, but I think that'll be a very interesting and very welcome upgrade, I suppose, because most people, I think, prefer stainless steel over brass. I think, don't quote me on that, because I know a lot of people actually love patina, but it seems that stainless steel spinners always sell out before their brass counterparts. This is just based on what I know of the market so far. Now, the design on the arms itself, very well done. I really like this design. I really like the cuts and I really like the shape. It is not sharp, no hot spots here, but the hot spot is right here. And the fact that it is modular, you get to choose whether or not you want to have a bar style or tri-style or just a one arm style. That really just, adds more character to this very unique spinner. I think I did not really speak in detail about the spin times that I'm getting. So in the bar configuration, I'm getting anything between 1.5 minutes to 3 minutes, and I don't know why, but that's a little bit iffy for me. In its tri form, however, I'm easily getting 4 to 5 minute spins, which is really quite amazing to me. Once again, guys, links in the video description below in case you guys are interested in getting one of the FEGVE Armored DIY spinners for yourself. Even if you are not going to check the video description, let me tell you, just go visit the Spin Scene Big Cartel web store. That's where you can actually place your order for one of these. And I hope that I provided enough information for you to decide whether or not the Armored DIY spinner is a spinner for you. It's not bad a spinner, honestly speaking. It's on loan to me, like I mentioned before, but I've enjoyed my experience with this thoroughly, with the exception of this particular edge right here. That's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, a big shout out to Roy for loaning this to me, because I have thoroughly enjoyed my experience with the FEGVE Armored DIY spinner. And I will catch all of you in the next slice of my life. Stay tuned for more reviews, because I got another 2 more of these FEGVE spinners from Roy, yeah? Alright, see you. Bye bye.